Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Wow, how has it got to our final product demo for today? Well, we have Swift360, a PPE supplier who say your safety is our business. And that's why their vision is a world where every worker stays safe, regardless of gender. They're shining light on the importance of women's high-vis and safety footwear. In this product demo, they'll explain why women are at risk of injury if they don't have workwear that properly fits. They will also showcase some of the most innovative products designed specifically for women, such as maternity high-vis garments and safety boots that suit the anatomy of women's feet. Put any questions you might have in the Q&A box in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and I'll put them very shortly to Luke Alcock of Leah Workwear and Carl Jones of Swift360 after the demonstration. We hope you enjoy it and stick around, and we'll see you for the live Q&A soon.
Historically, the trade industry in the UK has been dominated by men. But over the last 10 years, the number of women in trade jobs has increased by a massive 120%. The pace of this increase and the number of women working in construction, rail, and engineering jobs has left the safety industry with some catching up to do. Luckily, more and more manufacturers of PPE and workwear are introducing ranges that are designed specifically for women. We're going to be looking in more detail at two of those manufacturers today. One company that is trailblazing when it comes to women's high-vis, and another who is changing the game when it comes to women's safety boots. So let's dive in as we explore the importance of why women need PPE that's designed with them in mind. High visibility clothing is designed to keep you safe. If the clothing doesn't fit, then you're not being kept safe. So, here's a question for you. Would you send your male workers out on site in poorly fitting high-vis clothing? We all know the answer is a resounding no. So why are so many women being sent out on site across the UK wearing high visibility clothing that is too big, too long, or generally ill-fitting? The number of women working in construction, welding, manufacturing, and other industrial trades continues to grow year on year. Up until now, the solution has been to give women men's garments in a smaller size. The problem with that is that men's garments are designed completely differently to women's. They're cut broader, longer and larger, with no space in the chest area. This oversized and baggy PPE is a safety hazard. The excess fabric can get caught in machinery or can interfere with the use of tools, putting women at risk of injury or worse. So why has this problem carried on for so long? The simple answer is that before now, there hasn't been a high visibility range designed specifically for women. But that's all about to change. We've built a strong relationship with Leah Workwear, who are leading the way in women's high visibility clothing. Let's look at some of those high-vis products in more detail. The maternity range is designed to make pregnant women feel safer and more comfortable at work, while still conforming to EN 20471. With an elasticated overbump band and waist adjustment on the Verity cargo trouser, and the elasticated side seams on the Lovercott polo shirt, Leo Workwear have ensured that these garments work with the wearer and can be worn all the way from bump to baby. The Modesty Tunic is a new and innovative garment aimed at bringing more inclusion to the workplace. It's designed to ensure the wearer is able to adhere to their religious beliefs while staying safe on site and fully conforming to EN 20471. There's an elastic button loop for ease of taking on and off, chevron-designed segmented tape for flexibility, and the fabric is UPF 40+ rated to keep skin safe from the sun. The polyfield polo offers improved performance in warmer weather conditions thanks to the lightweight, hydrophobic fabric that channels moisture away from the body. The antimicrobial properties protect the garment from the build-up of bacteria and odour. It's also certified to 50 wash cycles, twice the industry standard. The polo has segmented reflective tape for garment stretch and increased breathability. Like the Modesty Tunic, the polyfield polo offers fabric with UV protection. That means you can work outside without taking risks with your skin. The Star-Cross stretch trousers have an elasticated waist with an adjustable belt. With segmented reflective tape and stretch fabric, they're comfortable, durable and functional. The polar fleece feels soft against your skin, and articulated knees allow for freedom of movement. The YKK zip has a longer wear life, and multiple pockets offer ample storage. The Hollycomb zipped sweatshirt comes with stretch reflective tape for flexibility. Diamond quilt fabric ensures all-day comfort and warmth, while the stand-up collar provides protection against bad weather. The garment is finished off with 2 zipped hand pockets to keep essentials safe and secure. When talking about PPE for women, we also have to consider safety footwear and how important it is to get the right fit on the feet. Much like with Hi-Vis clothing, historically women have been given men's safety boots in a smaller size. But the anatomy of men's and women's feet is not the same. According to international research conducted by Sartre, men's feet are longer and wider on average than women's feet. Women's feet tend to have a shallower first toe, a shorter length from the ball of the foot to the heel, a shorter ankle length, and a smaller instep length and circumference. All of this means that men's safety boots are not suited for women's feet and can be clumpy, oversized and dangerous, leading to accidents in the workplace that are entirely avoidable. That's why it's so important to select a brand that has a product range specifically built to suit the anatomy of women's feet. That's why we work closely with Steel Blue. They have a range of boots designed especially for women's feet. Let's explore the Argyle and the Southern Cross boots in more detail. The 2 Southern Cross styles come in a stylish pink and sand colour. Made from premium water-resistant leather, the 2 styles have a padded collar, a 200 dual steel toe cap, and industrial-grade zipper. The Argyle range mirrors the Southern Cross with a padded collar, water-resistant leather, and a steel toe cap. Coming in classic black and stylish sand, these boots have a heat-resistant sole of up to 130 degrees. The whole range has been designed with women's feet in mind. Both styles have a smaller instep and a shorter ankle length. Both styles have a PU Ortho Rebound footbed specifically designed to cushion and cradle the entire foot. Made from high-quality polyurethane, it always retains its shape and thickness to reduce foot fatigue and ensure support from heel to toe. The unique Tri-Sole Comfort technology features Poron, the world's leading shock-absorbent material. This technology is under the heel and in the peak stress areas of the foot, providing a vital foundation that supports the whole body. These two technologies provide unprecedented levels of comfort. And with a fit that's right for them, women can avoid accidents at work caused by oversized footwear. So, what does the future hold? As more and more women join the trade industries, the need for women-only PPE will only continue to grow. At Swift360, we plan to keep this at the forefront of people's minds and become the #1 destination for women's PPE. Our vision is a world where every worker stays safe, no matter what their gender. That's why we're working with brands like Leo and Steel Blue, who are paying attention to what women need to keep them safe on site. And making sure that they're protected from their heads, Hi-Vis shoulders, articulated knees, and steel-capped toes. Get in touch today or find out more at swift360.co.uk.
Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to our final live Q&A for today. We hope you're enjoying the talks, and don't forget, if you've got any questions, post them in the tab on the top right-hand corner. Now, it's my absolute pleasure today to be joined by Luke Alcock and Carl Jones. Guys, it's really, really great to talk to you. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Now, as a woman who, for the majority of her life, who has worn Hi-Vis vests, this is a really great conversation for me, and I'm unsure why it hasn't come sooner. So thank you very much for bringing it to our attention and bringing it in. Now, we were talking prior to kind of going live. Luke, I'd love you to talk a little bit about kind of the developmental process of this, because, you know, you are obviously a male front face for Leo, but you were saying about what's behind the scenes, so I'll let you take over.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, being, as you say, being a male, to sort of head this up, because the reality is a lot of the female development work is led by a team of ladies behind the scenes. We have about a 60% female workforce here at Leo, and because of that, it's meant we've had a much easier sort of honest conversation type situation on developing, you know, these types of products for us. So yeah, there probably should be a few ladies sat behind me today who need to take a lot of credit for this, because yeah, we started the whole range. I think it was December 2014 when the first kind of ladies garments came into us. There was 4 products then, but then we've evolved them ever since, and with the team around us, that's how that's been created. So.
Well, good on you for giving them credit. So what inspired Leo to create a ladies' high-vis visibility clothing range?
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things there was I've been at Leo a long time now, and we were getting a lot of inquiries for size extra small and double extra small, and we were kind of, what's behind all these inquiries? Is there a lot of much smaller people being employed, or what's happening? And so obviously we investigated this. But it turned out that there was a lot more females being employed in obviously in areas where you need to be wearing compliant ISO 20471 clothing. And we just felt, as a business that really does try to encompass enabling people, being everybody, all shapes and sizes, to do their job. We've always been known for doing size small to 6XL. In our men's garments, and that's because we don't want the really small guy or the really big guy to feel not part of the team, so to speak. So it's a case of, right, okay, well, let's choose some products that could work for ladies immediately, and let's just go for it. So it came from inquiries basically for smaller people, but then it's taken that plunge to put some stock on the shelf and hope that it sells, so to speak. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let's hope so. So Carl, maybe you could give us a bit of an insight into why you guys are stocking these products and why you wanted this relationship.
Yeah, thanks, Jo. So similarly, I guess, when I started with Swift, I noticed that going through production of our new catalogue, that actually we didn't have much of a representation for women in there. So we started that piece of work then to understand, right, how do we expand the range? We started having conversations with our core customers as well about what was important to them and what they were looking for. And it was very keen for us then to make sure that we've got the right partnership with suppliers then to make sure we're providing the right products, and Leo being one of our preferred suppliers and, at the top of the supply list for us. So we were really excited when they showed us this range of products and the quality associated with them. And we've been working very closely with Biffa as well, actually, in this. So they've got over 1,000 ladies that they're looking to kit out in women's PPE, predominantly because they had a few ladies that came back and just sort of said, look, you know, this is what I'm wearing. You can see that it clearly doesn't fit me properly. It's, you know, a unisex type fit, but it doesn't fit me properly. And usually they'd have to go a size up to make sure it did fit them, which then there's an added danger to the fact that they'd be flapping around, etc. Similarly with footwear as well, but we find that obviously when you're making universal, they're still made typically with a men's last instead of a ladies last. So again, it's really important to us that anatomically they're very different. So we just want to make sure that we actually give somebody the best fit possible. And quality-wise is the most important thing for us to back up.
Fantastic, thank you. So what's been the biggest challenge you found in developing the range?
For us, it's definitely been the fit. It's, I think, a lot of male wearers, they kind of accept what they're given, and you know, they've got sort of different body shapes, obviously, than females would have. So therefore, the fit. I mean, we've now been on this journey for, like I say, 6 years, and we've gone from 4 products to 15 products. But each of those products we have actually revisited and changed sizes around. We've dual sized certain items. We've moved some products up, down. We've added an inch here, a centimetre there. We've reduced leg lengths. We really haven't just kind of rested on that's it, that's all we're offering. Off the back of creating the range, it was very important that obviously we had the engagement with our female workforce here to keep trying on the products and little innovations and changes that we made. But at the same time, I've done around 4 or 5 different focus groups with female workers, you know, sort of 12 to 15 different ladies that can then give me real insight into how it's actually utilized at work, which is obviously a very different environment than just coming in here, trying stuff on. You know, there's ladies out there sort of driving trucks, diving through tunnels. Some of the events that were kind of said to me, it looks like they were doing Tough Mudder each day. So I clearly needs to make sure that not only the fit was right, but also one thing that we really focused on was making sure that we used quality components and the build quality of the items. So yeah, you know, we sort of, that's been the biggest challenge, is the fit on products. But I think by listening to feedback, using the right components, you end up getting the right blend.
Well, good on you for listening, because there definitely are lots of different shapes and sizes across the industry, and it's great to be able to fit into the existing with. Now, I'm having a slight problem with my internet. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You locked up.
Okay, so Carl, I think some of the other questions that were put in amongst this were around the sort of the cost element of products, wasn't it? That was something that was discussed before.
Yeah, there was the question around whether or not there's much of a differentiation in cost between men's and women's PPE. There is a little bit of a cost, but I guess that's mainly because of the economies of scale that are attached to this. But the good thing is that as there's more and more engagement from customers and the volumes actually are built, then those costs will come down. But I think the thing on the back of it for me is the conversations we're having with customers. Typically, cost doesn't really come into it, because what they're actually trying to do is give their teams the right sort of fit product. So therefore, they're actually getting a happier workforce, because it actually sits them on the nicer. that they're not getting so many complaints. You can imagine that the biggest thing about PPE is that, it isn't just about visual safety, it's often about making sure that you've got the physical safety as well, particularly when you're talking about boots, etc. The way that a boot fits you, it can actually have a big impact on your health because it can change the gait of the way you walk, which then can have a knock-on effect and can create, neck problems, shoulder problems, back problems, knee problems. So I think it's really important. That's one of the reasons why we are very keen to talk to customers about providing something that is as comfortable as possible and works for employees, rather than worrying about what the minimised cost is of a product.
Yeah, from a Leo's manufacturing perspective, when we created this range, it was done in a way that we shot for the stars. We thought, let's just make it as good as we possibly can, and then we'll let everybody else work backwards. So the reality is, in the men's sector, there's a lot of very cheap Me Too products in there. So therefore, when you've got a customer base that's used to paying a certain amount for a product, when you bring something new along like a female range, and because we decide to make it better, my hope is, as a manufacturer, and this is actually happening, is that the level of the men's garments is now coming up to match a lot of the female garments that we've created. So therefore, both sets of workers are actually now ending up with a better deal, with better products. And as Carl rightly says, it's about making sure then you get best performance from your workforce, because you're putting them in to products that they actually enjoy wearing every day. It all goes where if you put them into something that doesn't really fit, leaks, all the different problems, breaks quickly, you're probably not going to be quite as productive. And that's one of the key messages, I think, from me and Carl is, if you buy well in the first place, you will get a great result, long term with your workforces. They will appreciate it. Look after your workforce.
Fantastic, guys, and thank you very much for holding the fort while I managed to rejoin. Sorry about being lost there from my internet. So I just tell me if you've already answered this. So how have you approached compliance to ISO 20471 when creating the range?
Yeah, it was one of the key challenges along with the fit, really, because historically, the way ISO 20471 is created is that you have to have X amount of surface area of the garment being in fluorescent orange, yellow, or fluorescent red, or also you would then have that X amount of reflective tape that you see on all said products. Now, the way that people used to get around this is they would make garments longer, or they would just make them just so there's enough surface area, but not thinking about the wearer. So the petite lady is the key one. So your size 6, your size 8, that kind of build. The idea really was that we'd lean on something called dual conformance. So you can wear a class 2 or class 1 lower body item with a garment on the top half, which is a class 2. You actually get a dual conformance situation, which makes it class 3. I know the maths don't quite stack up there, but it's the way it works. Is we make a class 2 trouser with a class 2 top half. With those together, as you can imagine, that's visually striking. So if they were wearing a black pair of trousers, for example, that wouldn't work. So it has to be, so if you concentrate on wearing Hi-Vis top half and bottom half, you can make it work on the smaller ladies.
Fantastic. So with a wide range of eco products available from Leo, how will this fit into the existing women's range and also new products?
Yeah, so obviously our move towards so many eco products, it's been about adding new products to the lineup rather than existing. We have an eco product now, our Star-Crossed trouser, which was recently converted to using the recycled fibres. And the idea is, well, not the idea, it's actually happening, is that all other products will move towards eco items over the next kind of 12 to 18 months. Obviously, this takes time, but virtually all new items that we make nowadays, not only are we looking for a female item, but we're also looking to make sure we get our eco credentials in there. But one sort of key point on that is, again, going back to my kind of passion about having better products. Better products will last longer. That's eco-friendly. So therefore, it should go hand in hand. Have a better product, have some eco fibers as well, and then you really are making a difference, hopefully, at that point. So yeah, big push towards the eco items from Leo.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually, Luke. And you know, that old saying of buy cheap, buy twice. You know, it's not good for anybody, is it? It's not good for your pocket. It's not good for the environment. So, I think that's a very good point, well made. So, has there been much customer engagement on women's PPE already? I hope so.
So yes, there has. The good thing for us is, so our top customers are all asking the question now about what's available, what can they do. The good thing is that what we're doing is they're not just coming in and just going, right, can you now give me an equivalent to this product for a woman? Actually, what they're doing is they're creating working groups and they're actually putting products to the test. So we do wearer trials. So Luke very kindly supported us in the wearer trials that we were doing with Biffa. So the good thing about that is we had a team of ladies from Biffa that came in, sat around the table in our offices. This was during the last release of lockdown, and basically gave us some feedback on products, tried some product art, etc. Just made sure that it would actually work for them. And then we gave them some trial products to actually wear in anger, if you like, and just make sure that they were happy and it was going to work for them. So we're then taking that feedback and passing it on to other customers just to give them, you know, here's what's working well, here's what's available. And yes, we are seeing more and more engagement for it. And I'm sure Luke will turn around and say that actually the sales have actually surpassed what he thought he was going to be selling on women's workwear.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's great news. And it's really good that you're doing those trials and tests as well to make sure that it, you know, you have that really important feedback. So am I allowed to know any other products that you've got coming out? Obviously, you've had the big launch now. You've been working really hard for many years on this. Like, I presume that you're the kind of company that constantly kind of pushes forward. So
yeah, I mean, when we look at the kind of range of it is, we've got 15 different products there at the moment, which obviously there isn't an equivalent men's version of a maternity item. But when you look at kind of the jackets that we offer, the polo shirts that we offer, we're currently kind of looking at some of the existing items we do in our men's ranges and just seeing whether now is the time to get into that kind of second and third option availability, rather than just being limited to our 15 products which tick all our boxes. We're now at a point where we need to try and kind of grow it out rather than doing something particularly sort of brand new. It's a case of sort of deep diving back in and creating some further options. So let's hope we can get from 15 to 30 products over the next 12 months. We shall see. Hey?
Fantastic. Well, there's a challenge, a gauntlet set down if ever I heard one. Luke, Carl, it's been fantastic having you on. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you very much, Jo. It's been a pleasure.
Guys, thank you for joining us this morning. It's fantastic to see so many brilliant product demos and Q&As, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for another jam-packed day. Have a lovely rest of your day and take care.
Thank you very much.